Now I'm getting ready to show you something that I wish I had known. If you have seen my past time-lapse videos, I had to screenshot this so I can type this color in, and I'm getting ready to show you something that will save you a whole lot of work, a whole lot of headache. Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Digital Paw Workshop. It is I, that yucky green that turns your stomach, Techno Meow Tinkerer. And today we're going to cover how to add color to objects in Blender, and we're going to cover a couple of different ways you can go about doing this, and how to find or add specific colors. And I figured this would be a good time to do it, because as you can tell, it is a Christmas time, a festive time of year, where we want some of that color to help with the drab dreary outside. So let's get on into Blender. Let me go ahead and delete my camera and my light. Now, I am deleting my light. You would, if you wanted, you could leave it there, but I don't want to wait, because when you click into this little tab here, or the top little circle, it'll show you the lighting, but we're not going to be doing that. I'm going to actually just be dealing with the actual color, so I want this little one that looks like a globe. And so, let me go ahead and move my avatar out the way, because I'm going to be needed working there in that corner I'm usually over. So as I did earlier, I clicked up on this one that looks like a little globe looking thing, and you wanted to click on that same one that kind of down here where it's the little globe looking pinkish red thing. It's called the Materials Properties tab, or I guess it's a tab. And as you can see, the actual material already has a base color added to it, and this is usually happening when you first go into Blender. And you can come into this base color, you click on it, and then you can change it. I want to change it to a blue. I don't want to come here, I want to type blue. Now, if I want to duplicate this object, I can. Whoops, let me select the object, duplicate object, move over. Now, I have two objects in color, but what if I want to change the colors? Well, I go in here, and if I start changing it, it changes both. That's because I had duplicated the object material as well as the data. And so there's a couple ways to get around doing that. One, you can actually, let me actually do another duplicate object here. I can actually come in. I want to go to objects up here, and I'm going to come down. Let me get myself out the way first. I'm in the way of that. Get myself out the way. I want to come with the objects. I want to come down here where it says relations. You want to come down here where it says make single user, and then want to click on object and data and materials. And now, as you can see above my head, if I can get down, it says blue.001. And so let me move myself back over. I'm flying. Move myself back over. So now when I go in and I choose to, if I want to change this, I can, and it don't affect the others. But this one and this one are still connected. And I can come in and I can change that. Now I'll get to a different way on what some of the stuff we can do with this. But first thing is, what if I want to duplicate multiple objects and I want to go through and do that whole process of drop down menu? Well, we'll come up here to edit, and let me get myself again back out the way because everything is on both sides of the screen. Come down to edit. You want to click on preferences, and over here on this left side you want to go to make sure you're on the editing. Come out down here to duplicate data, and then you want to click on materials, save preferences, close out the window, and then if I duplicate the object, now if I was to go back to this object here and come down here and then move things around, it won't change the object that I duplicated because I enacted that feature. So let's see, go back and move myself again out the way, because I don't actually want to go and then go back up here and turn that off. Right now I don't have that many things to do, But like I said, these two are still pretty much the same. So there's actually a couple ways you can kind of go about. And the next way we're going to go about changing the color is we can go in, select on this one, or I can probably select on this one and hit tab. Now, if also you want to be in edit mode if you want to add specific colors, but you can go in here and you can actually change some stuff around. First things first, I do want to show one other thing. Let's go ahead and get a new color. Click on that little plus mark. I hit new. I can come down here, pick a color, any color. We'll do yellow. I'll name it yellow. And so as you can see, it doesn't change that color, but if I come up here and I click on this one and then hit that, it does. I have to hit that minus, it will delete the top color and go wherever the second color is. Another way to change the colors is if you come in here to edit, you select what areas you want the color, and I click assign on that color and it'll go to that area to select. So like if I want to do this side a different color, I come down here. Well, I say first things first, I want to come up here to the plus mark, add that, click new, click this, and then I can pick another color. We'll do green for right now. Just move your cursor off of it so it brings this up, and you want to click assign. Now I'm getting ready to show you something that I wish I had known. If you have seen my past time-lapse videos, I had to screenshot this so I can type this color in, and I'm getting ready to show you something that will save you a whole lot of work, a whole lot of headache. And that's if I come over here and be in object mode, I create a new mesh. Let's do a cylinder. I'll do a new mesh with a new cylinder, and I want to add a color. Well, you see this little box here with the same looking little globe we've been looking at. It's got a drop down menu, and boom, there's all the colors and materials. So boom, I can select the one I got. Same thing, I can go into an edit mode, select the panel. So I won't come down here. Well, let me just select a few panels. Come down here, hit this plus mark, add another color, hit this, drop down menu, bring up, boom, hit assign. Boom, now I got a green cylinder with a blue streak in it. And this would have saved me so much time, so much work, and it will save it to you as well. Now there is another way where you can let me delete some of this stuff out of here. Go ahead and get rid of all this extra stuff. If I want to have, let me just go and bring a cylinder in here. Now, if you're familiar with a couple of my videos, my hotspot video, I have a couple things like some hinges. I want them the same color, I want them the same movement, and so I join them together so they will be always connected. This also works for coloring. So like I said, I got my cylinder here. You want to select that for whatever object you want to change to the other object and connect it, and you want to connect the one that you want to join it to. Right click, come up to join, and boom, they're both connected, both on materials, data, everything. So now if I just whatever one I collect and move, they kind of all stay together, as well as their colors. And you may need to do this at some time if you're doing tiles on a roof and all the tiles are pretty much the same color. This is one way to go about doing it. If you want certain tiles, certain colors, you can join them together, stuff like that. Now let's go ahead and delete all this stuff out, bring me back a new cube in. Now we're going to kind of go into a different way of adding color to this right here. We're going to go up here to the shading tab, click on it, and bring this up. Now I want to make sure, now where is my, okay, maybe it's because let me go back. That's weird. It didn't show. Maybe that's right. I got to go ahead and add a new material. Come back into shading. There we go. You got to make sure you have that new material added. Now, this works twofold. It works both on bringing color or imagery. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my green screen. Bring it in. And let me zoom in here a little bit Get a little bit up close so we can kind of see the areas we need. And so let me get myself out the way. And so I got my green screen in here, and I click this color to the base color, and boom, my cube is now all green. And I can just sit here and I can click on this thing, right click and delete if I want to remove it, and then I can bring in an image, do the same thing, and boom, image. Now this is great for if you're dealing with color swatches or color palettes, stuff like that. And let's get into UV editing so we can show you how to edit this to be the way you want it. So we're going to go back to our layout. I'm not using my timeline. Oh, come on, get out of the way. And so I can do it so whatever way you want to split the screen to have multiple screens is up to you. But I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on this little drop down menu. Right now I'm using timeline. I got timeline up. I'm not using it, so I'm going to click down here to shade editor. Oh, now while I'm here in shade editor. Shade editor also does the same thing as shading. As you can see here, I got the image. I can right click, delete, get rid of it, and then I can just import it back in here. So shade editor, like the shading tab, you can do pretty much the same thing. Let me bring back. But no, what I said I want to click here is I want to actually come down here to UV editor. Now to use the UV editor, you got to make sure you get the object selected, and then you tab into the edit mode. And as you can see, how much you may want to like this video. But let's get on. Now we'll click down here on this area, anywhere down here on this area, and you click A. Well, come on. There we go. Well, if I'm hitting S, not A. That's right. I want to click A. Then I want to click S, and then I want to scale this up to be probably about around there. Then G, bring it on down, and so boom, there I can have my image pretty well centered. I need to actually grab and center you a little bit better so people will like this video. Now if you want to just do one side, you can click on whatever side you want to do. You can, and that brings that up. Now interesting enough, if you're dealing with a palette and you want a specific color, if you click S0, it will bring that side or whatever thing you got highlighted down. Hit G for grab, and then you can just move it over the area or color that you want. And so if you're dealing with palettes or swatches or anything like that, this will be helpful if you got a specific theme and you don't have to keep going through all that material stuff. You can do it either way, and I'm going to show you something interesting about that material here in just a second. As I said earlier, you can kind of come in here to the shading editor, and I can click on that and delete. But let me get myself back out the way again because I keep getting in the way. Bad tinker, always getting in the way. You come over here under where it says base color, and it says thumbs up, so it's got whatever picture you got in here. Now you click on this little yellow dot, and then you can change it. But if you want to remove and go back to your normal base color, you just click up here on the dot where it says remove. It's removed. Now it's not there if you're just using the base color for anything. So if I just change this to any type of color I want, boom, it's not going to show up there. Now you can bring the input of like a RPG thing in here and change it this way. Same thing if you want to delete that, you just come up here, remove. Also if you want to it's also got some texture stuff, so you can do some brickwork. So we can remove it that way. Let me remove my shading editor down. I don't need it right now. So let's see, we've done that. Let me quickly look over my thing. Okay, the last thing I want to do is, if you want to, again, similar to doing what we did with the UV texturing and the shade editor, if you want specific colors, palette, swatches, or if you are doing a character and you want to try to stay true to that color. So actually I'm going to come up here. You can kind of do it in any of these windows you want to. I'm going to use this one up here for right now. I want to come up here, drop menu down. Of course you got all your same stuff, your shade editor, UV editor. I'm going to do my image editor up here. And I'm going to drag in a picture, one I created using AI, automatic 1111. And so like if I want to do a specific thing, now if I can come down here to this right here, and you see this little eyedropper tool. You click on the eyedropper, and then I can click anywhere on the image, and all depends on what I am wanting to color anywhere. Oops. Just click. It won't. I thought I was going to let me click and drag, but it don't let me do that. Oh, there we go. It is. Well, kind of is. It's doing some weird stuff. So, and now if you watch my video on me making the time-lapse with Autobot Matrix, I did that with that image in the background. Since I was working on it, I used the eyedropper to do that. You can also use the eyedropper on anything you currently got, but as you can see how every time I click on an object it changes the color. So I have not found a way to when it clicks on it keeps the same color as far as the actual 3D object, but if you're using an imagery it works just fine because that image is always that same color. Oops, don't need to click on that. No, that's not what I want. I want my eyedropper. Get the eyedropper, Tinkerer. There you go. So yeah, this is always going to be in the same no matter what. So if you're trying to just copy something real quickly, this works. And let me see, is that everything I want to cover? Yeah, that's pretty much everything I cover. I had to make me a note list for this thing. Usually I don't do scripts, but I had to make a note list for this thing because there was so much information you could do for basic coloring, and I didn't want to do a separate tutorial for each one. I just figured we'd just do one tutorial so you have one reference point to come to. I'm going to have timestamps in this video for you to quickly get to where you want to go. But I hope this video was informative and helpful for some of you, and if you like my content, please like and subscribe and share this with anyone you think might find it interesting. Have a nice day.